Even though we do the same things as banks, it's really a different mindset from an internal standpoint where you are here to help people. Everybody says we offer great service, we're here for our customers. Credit unions actually mean it.
Welcome to episode 97 of the LorainCounty.com Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Ed Skimmon. Before we get started, I want to add a quick thank you to our champion sponsors, Emerge Inc., Lorain County Commissioners, Community Foundation of Lorain County, WOBL Radio, Lorain County JVS, and Lorain County Community College. Today, we are talking with Bret Fisher, CEO of Achieve Credit Union. Join us as Bret talks about his journey from traditional banking to leading a credit union, the unique differences between credit unions and banks, and how Achieve Credit Union is making a positive impact in our community. Bret also discusses technological advancements, the credit union support for local education and nonprofits, and how a cultural shift within the organization is improving member services. Growing up, my parents were teachers, and I remember going with them to the Lorain City Schools Credit Union when they signed the loan paperwork for a new car. That early experience has always stayed with me because it showed how credit unions can provide a welcoming, people-focused approach to financial services. Credit unions play an important role in strengthening communities, offering member-driven guidance, local decision-making, and programs and products tailored to support families, schools, and neighborhoods. Here is my conversation with Bret Fisher.
I'm Bret Fisher, CEO of Achieve Credit Union here in Elyria, Ohio.
Welcome, Bret. Thanks for joining us and sharing your insights. To begin with, could you provide an overview of Achieve Credit Union?
Achieve Credit Union started in 1958. We are historically a school employees credit union. We started as School Employees Lorain County Credit Union. We merged approximately 12 years ago now with Lorain Schools Credit Union. And then in 2020, we changed our charter to be community-based. So at that time, we changed the name from School Employees Lorain County Credit Union, which is a little bit of a mouthful, to Achieve Credit Union, and opened up our membership so that anybody that lives, works, or worships in Lorain County and the surrounding counties of Lorain could become members of ours.
Could you describe your role and responsibilities as president and CEO of the credit union?
My major responsibility is being in charge of the strategic vision. How do we best serve our members? How do we best serve our employees? Coming up with the strategy and how we want to grow, what our product set is, all those type of things. There's always other duties as assigned. So I say I do a little bit of everything around here. Fortunately, I don't have to run a teller window anymore because balancing and everything, that's not necessarily my forte, but basically doing a little bit of everything here, but just making sure the place runs right, empowering our senior managers throughout the organization and our people to serve our mission to our membership.
Sure. Growing up, my parents were teachers. I remember going with them to the Lorain City Schools Credit Union. My mom still has an account that's now part of Achieve. Could you talk about the difference between a credit union and a bank or other financial institution, and what's the unique benefits of a credit union?
Credit unions basically do the same thing as banks. However, we are owned by our membership. So we don't have stockholders. We don't have an emphasis on making a profit. We are definitely more focused on serving our members. That's who we're here to make happy. So generally, a credit union has better rates than banks, both on the lending side and on the savings side. However, we're generally smaller than banks. So some of our challenges are keeping up with some of those other products and services that the bigger banks can offer, but we're more community focused. So we do a lot of stuff with, obviously, our history with the schools and everything. We do a lot of stuff involved in the community, and really we can and do compete with big boy banks in regards to what our members want, what the specific products they want and everything like that. We've had the best or one of the best CD rates all year in Lorain County and the best auto rates all year in Lorain County. So we're able to give back to our members with being able to offer those type of savings.
Speaking of products, can you go through the core products that Achieve Credit Union provides for your members?
So we offer checking savings, credit cards, auto loans, personal loans, home equity loans. We also have a fully owned subsidiary that does wealth management, retirement planning, IRAs, different things like that. In regards to the extra add-ons and products, we've got online banking, remote deposit capture, so you can take a picture of your check, deposit that, debit cards, bill pay. Like I said, pretty much everything that a bank offers is really our cup of tea.
What are the main challenges that the credit union is facing right now, and what are the greatest opportunities?
So much like mom and pop stores, smaller organizations, we face a lot of those challenges of technology advancement, scaling our services up, especially when we're trying to compete with banks, compete with not just banks, but fintech organizations like Venmo and Cash App and those different types of things. We're like the mom and pop place that is within your community, and we can't necessarily do everything. That's one of the biggest challenges. How do we best serve our members with having a focus on what they want, and then also being able to provide the services and the level of service that is really to be expected in regards to having a community organization. On top of that, being able to give back to the community. We've got a lot of different things out there. We got a lot of boots on the ground in regards to getting out in the community. But in regards to challenges, it's trying to figure out the best way of serving our members with keeping these limited resources that we do have. The biggest opportunities are still growing in regards to getting our name out there. We decided to go through a name change and a charter change very beginning of 2020. And then, as we know, with COVID, the community shut down. So it stalled some of that. It did allow us to regain our footprint there and have a better strategy going out there. At this point, we've had the best 3 years we've had as an organization. We've been around since 1958. Best 3 years, growth-wise, income-wise, just by being able to get out there. So there's a lot of opportunity. Lorain County is a great area. I'm from this area and everything. We've got a lot of people that love Northeast Ohio. So there's a lot of good opportunities to help the community and continue to grow our organization.
You mentioned being engaged in the community. I read that your community impact program has pledged over $70,000 this year to support educators, nonprofits, and community initiatives. Why is this kind of community involvement important to you and your team? And what are some of the key community programs and causes that Achieve has been involved with?
Previously to this year, we always do a bake sale, or we would do some type of fundraising here to give back. Because we've grown and because we've had such good years, we've been able to really put our money where our mouth is in regards to helping the community. So we decided to take a portion of our interchange fee income that we earn off of debit card and credit card transactions and commit that to specifically Lorain County organizations. It was about a little over $70,000 this year. Again, with having the focus of the education background, where you're able to give a lot of different scholarships, helping musical organizations, and not just education, also just a lot of different smaller community organizations that might not have gotten the attention that some of the bigger ones get. One of the ones that kind of sticks in my mind is we were able to provide baby simulators. So I like to say I delivered a bunch of babies to Clearview schools, and people give me this look, but obviously we know our schools are hurting with a lot of the things in the economy and their budgets and everything. And Clearview had these baby simulators that weren't working right. Some of them, I think, were missing heads. A very tough situation for them. And these things aren't cheap. So how do you give the kids the proper experience of being able to take care of kids and learn that difficult situation? They put in a request to us, and we were able to provide 4 simulators to them so that program could run the way it's supposed to run. Just a lot of different kind of off the wall type things like that.
Achieve was recently honored with the DePulse conference in Dallas, Texas with a People's First Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Could you tell us about the award and the different ways in which Achieve supports your employees?
Last month was a great month for us in getting some recognition. The DePulse Award is, we got recognized there, and it was an honor from other people within our industry. The people first thing, we've done a lot of refocusing on our culture here and really focusing on our mission to exceed our members' expectations, providing superior service to them, superior products. We want to promote their financial success. And a lot of the things we're doing here to just have that extra focus on our members. I was able to talk at the conference about some internal initiatives that we were doing, that impact program that we were doing, just different things that really can give back and add that extra level. The credit union industry itself, the motto is people helping people. So that's the industry itself. So there's a lot of pride when the industry recognizes that you're taking steps above that. Besides that, we were also honored with the Morning Journal's awards, Best Credit Union, Best Bank, and Best Mortgage Lender in Lorain County. So I look at that, and that's more the community and our members appreciating what we're doing. And this is the second year that we won Best Credit Union, and then this year adding Best Bank on top of that. There's some pride there in regards to doing banking better than some of the banks around here. And again, that's more the community looking at us. So it's been a good couple months here with people recognizing what we're trying to do to best serve our members.
How do you measure success and achieve? What are the key metrics and outcomes that are important to you and your leadership team?
Member satisfaction. When we went through some of these culture initiatives, we really focused on our why. And that was our mission of exceeding our members' expectations. So adding to that, we want to be the best place for our members to bank and best place for our employees to work. So everything we do revolves around those two initiatives. That's always in the back of our head. Are we exceeding our members' expectations? What can we do to help the members? The service is the number one thing. And everybody says that, but nobody goes into a place and says, I want to have crummy service, right? You never hear that. And everybody says their service is the best, but you really need to have a focus on that every day. I think that's the biggest thing that we've been doing. And then again, if we can make our employees happy, we're going to draw better people. People are going to help our members better. And overall, just make that a movement of really having the integrity and respect and professionalism throughout the organization.
Financial services landscape has changed rapidly with new technology. We hear a lot about fintech and AI transforming banking. How is Achieve leveraging technology to improve your member service?
I think every conference I go to, every training, AI is number one thing there. It's figuring out how to implement it the best way. We want to not necessarily be Venmo and be these complete online type financial institutions, but we want to make sure that we play nice with them. So if you are Venmoing cash between you and your friends and you need it to get into your bank account, we want to make sure that you can get it as quickly as possible. Utilizing technology so that you're playing nice with everything that's going on. There's a lot of things there that even as a smaller financial institution still implement so that people aren't missing out on some of these key things that they're looking for. Simple things like tap cards and online banking and bill pay. Those are requirements nowadays in our industry where 7-8 years ago, those were luxuries. So we have to keep up with that. And we've done a great job with that, but things move so fast now. It's hard to be a industry leader on some of those things because you don't know how things are going to adjust. And I look at cryptocurrency just a couple years ago, that was the hottest thing and it calmed down now. There's a lot of things on the forefront. You mentioned AI, fintechs are always pushing the envelope on the technology side. You've got different regulations that change all the time. There's this talk of stable coins and how that affects everything. We need to be on top of things and really focus on how to best use our resources so that we're not wasting our members' money going the wrong way.
You're also in a very regulated industry.
Yes.
So those regulations impact your ability to look at some of those, right?
Yep, that's the other thing. Regulations change all the time. And between different political administrations, between technology changing so fast that those hot topics change all the time. We've been blessed that if you really focus on doing what's best for your members, you don't have a ton of worries on the regulation side. But things always change and you just need to stay on top of it.
What are your thoughts on the local economy? What challenges and opportunities are you seeing in Lorain County?
We know there's some areas in Lorain County that are struggling. There's some areas that are prospering. I think there's a lot of good things on the horizon. It's just getting there sometimes. I think sometimes the challenges are getting over all these hurdles and getting to the finish line. Our main office here is right by Midway Mall. So we see those challenges on how different things were 20 years ago to where they are now. And there's all these different plans, but it's how do they get that moving? We have an office on Oberon Avenue in Lorain. We're actually building a new office over on 58. So we're very involved in the Lorain community also. And you hear these companies coming in and coming out. And I think there's a lot of good things on the horizon. It's just trying to get those over the finish line. You got other areas that are prospering. It's spreading that throughout the whole county, I think, is the important thing.
Let's switch over and talk about you. What's your background and what led you to Achieve Credit Union?
I grew up in Northeast Ohio, went to Walsh University down in Canton. As coming in here, I'm a rather imposing person. I'm 6'8", so I did play basketball. Played basketball at Walsh, met my wife down there. She played basketball as well. We now live in Avon, got 3 kids. My oldest is 21, have a 18-year-old and a 15-year-old. After I went to Walsh, got into the financial industry, worked in banking quite a bit, different retail type management jobs, actually fell into the credit union world about 5 years ago. And as you're bouncing around and being in the banking world, doing different things like financial advising, working on the retail side in the branches of the bank, doing insurance, retirement planning, all these different things, it never quite felt right to me. And again, that's over 20, 25 years. I was always trying to find the right thing. And then once I came into the credit union world, even though we do the same things as banks, it's really a different mindset. And again, I go back to that service thing. Everybody says we offer great service. We're here for our customers. Credit unions actually mean it. And the whole industry is built on being a financial cooperative with your members. It is a lot different than banking from an internal standpoint where you are here to help people and you don't have to worry about some of the sales aspects of banking and stuff like that. You're just generally here trying to improve people's lives. So I came over to Chief as the operations manager at that point, and my predecessor was planning on retiring at some point. Neil Summers was 73 at the time, and I said, this would be interesting in your position whenever you're planning on stepping down. Don't want to rush, but when he did decide to announce his retirement, there was here in a couple months runway. I was named his successor. Now, unfortunately, Neil passed away 90 days before he was going to retire. Not quite the way you want to take over. From a business standpoint, we were ready, but emotionally, that was very tough.
In the time you've been with Achieve, what are you most proud of accomplishing?
Really, the last 3 years, the culture change that we've had here. We always did good at servicing our members, but I don't know if we added necessarily as much value as we could with really finding solutions to help them. Having the right conversations with people, really having that focus on how can I save you money? How can we make you earn more money? And having a focus within the organization and developing this culture. This is our why. Our why is to exceed our members' expectations. We need to try to do better for everybody that comes in here. We've really stepped up our game here, and it's shown with our growth. It's shown with what we're able to do. Getting out in the community, more so than a organization change, really a movement in how we approach things. So very exciting to be able to do that. We've got great people that work here. Just having this direction, people are eager. It's not a hard sell for people. Hey, you're here to help people. It's not a sales focus. I don't care what kind of numbers you get. I want you to help people. It's truly a great mission to have that.
What would you still like to accomplish?
I'd like to become bigger. I'd like to keep helping more people. We talk about Lorain County, there's a lot of good that we can still do. So as we continue to grow, things like our impact program will continue to grow. Being able to offer the types of products that we have for people, they'll be able to save more money. Got a lot of things in mind. We got a branch that we're building in Lorain. A couple years ago, we opened up a LaGrange branch. Probably announce a couple things here relatively soon in regards to maybe having a new location somewhere else. Continue to not stand still and move forward.
How would you describe your leadership style? What or who has influenced your leadership approach the most?
I'm a big Simon Sinek fan. Started listening to Simon Sinek really kind of when I came over here. I've had a lot of coaches, having an athletic background, that's affected my leadership. The way I've grown up, I've never been in one clique. I've always been that guy that's had a hodgepodge of different friend groups and got along with everybody, which has helped with leading people because everybody likes to be led differently, like having that empathy and compassion to deal with people how they like to be dealt with. That's a attribute to my parents who were small business owners, to every coach I've had and manager I've had along the way. So
outside of work, what are your interests and hobbies and how do they help recharge you?
I got 3 kids. So again, they're getting a little bit older. The time I take with them is still super important, but me and my wife now have some more time for ourselves. I am a huge Star Wars nerd, so we do a lot of the different charity costuming stuff. So I belong to a couple different organizations that will raise money for different causes out there by doing costuming at different events. I'm 6'8", and I'm a Star Wars fan, so yes, I probably dress like a Wookiee, but just different things like that where you can go out and make people smile. It's funny when you do an event and you see a 45-year-old tough guy come up to you and act like a 12-year-old kid because there's a bunch of Star Wars characters there. My wife and I do that. I still try to be involved playing basketball. I got a group of friends, football dads. We end up playing basketball once or twice a week, so try to stay in shape there. And then whatever I could do to make my wife happy, that's what I end up doing. But just enjoying family time and doing different things like that.
Finally, where can people go get more information about Achieve Credit Union and connect with you?
We've got 3 branches. If you want to go in person, our main branch here is on 340 Griswold Road. It's right by Midway Mall. Our new branch in Lorain will be over by the Home Depot on 58, right next to the Church of North Coast. Branch in LaGrange is by the old IGA in LaGrange. We have a website, achievecu.org, and you can find us on Google and track us down that way. We're also out in the community quite a bit. So any of the different events out there, we generally have a good presence at the Crusher Stadium, at Walking on Wednesdays in Amherst, a lot of stuff in Elyria. So you see us out there, that's for sure.
Thanks, Bret, for joining us and sharing your insights.
Thanks, I appreciate it, Ed.
Thank you for listening to the LorainCounty.com Insights Podcast. Each episode, we share conversations with the people shaping life in Lorain County, from business and government to education, nonprofits, healthcare, and entertainment. Be sure to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. You can also visit LorainCounty.com to discover local events, volunteer opportunities, and more community resources. If you know someone who's making a difference in Lorain County, send us a note at podcast@LorainCounty.com. We would love to share their story and insights. Special thanks to our producer, Leah Gerke, and to you for listening. This has been the LorainCounty.com Insights Podcast, conversations with the people shaping Lorain County.